Welcome back, everyone, to the Bitcoin Business Bureau. I'm your host, as always, LitecoinLeader. I'm at the whiteboard one last time. This is part 5 and 5. There's a 5. Part 5 in the series of Nexo. I'm going to be posting it up here, as always. It'll be one large playlist for all 5 videos. I concluded part 4 saying I'll be right back with part 2. I decided I'd take a break with it and come back. I need to regroup my thoughts. Each lesson builds upon the last one. So we started with lesson 1, where we talked about real estate and using an asset-backed loan, which was a mortgage, to recapitalize ourselves. Lesson 2 turned into Bitcoin. Bitcoin 1, Bitcoin 2. Lesson 3 talked about the margin call number 83 up here, why we like Nexo. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm just a guy at a whiteboard who likes to draw blue and green ink and draw little houses very poorly. But still, not financial advice. And this has to be the last one in the series because I can't find any market but this one. And I'm using this microphone. And if it doesn't work, I give up. So here's we go. All right, we're at part 5. Now, they're all, let's see, part 4 we just talked about. This is the end of part 4, how I said how you're not financial advice, but as these two things diverge, and I'll draw a divergence up in here. I can make a little graph, like a little square. It's like I planned it. So as the loan adds up at, say, 15%, but the Bitcoin is growing at 100%. That's called divergence. And when two things diverge, the best way to understand divergence is if one thing goes this way, and the other thing, let's use 2 colors, goes this way. That's divergence. But you can also have divergence like this, right? Divergence means they're going different rates in different directions. That usually one is positive and one's negative. That's the easy one to understand. Imagine the value of Bitcoin compared to the buying power of the dollar. Now, I'm going to draw an exponential type growth. Okay? These two, they're still positive, but this one is growing faster than this one. This interest rate of 15% I used is growing. 15% sounds bad, but when the asset that you're using to pay off the loan is growing at 100%, you're diverging and gaining 85% a year, compounded. So that's part of the divergence. Now, really hope this audio is working well, but here we go, and didn't even cap my hand, but let's go. Now, so that was the first 4 parts, okay? We talked about, here's the end of part 4, where we have a loan that's roughly 3.5–4% of our asset. 35,500 versus an asset worth 960,000. We have a credit line 480, which dwarfs the loan, which is great. Now, this is if I took 1 Bitcoin and let it run, and I didn't ever have to do the margin call part. I got lucky in the first year and so on. Now, what if we change things? What if we want to accelerate this? We want to pour kerosene onto this fire. So we want to see it grow faster. This is where I need my notes, so bear with me. So, markers falling all over the place. So, what if we don't go crazy in years, year 1, year 2, the next 4 years, okay? We borrowed 50%. We had a loan to value here. Originally, we were at a loan to value of 20,000 compared to a value of 60,000. So our loan to value here was 33%. It's an important number. I'm going to put it right here. 33% loan to value. Okay? Legible? Close enough. Legible. 33%. You can see it. If you look really hard enough, you can see it. All right. You make it happen. Now, I just let this grow. The loan to value down here is roughly about 4%. Okay? What if I grew the loan along with this to buy more Bitcoin along the way? And maybe not at maybe not that aggression level. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grow it at a different rate, but I'm going to take less and less risk every year. So again, I need notes for this. This is a lot of math. I need a spreadsheet, all that cool stuff. So all right, and we're back. All right, ran some fresh numbers. Got a fresh print out here. Got some good numbers. Still can't find the right pen. Still got a microphone on my arm, hoping it works. Let's knock this out and get this thing done. We'll get there. If it kills us, we'll get to this finish line. So, all right, 33% loan to value is where we started with 20,000 and 60,000. After 1 year, we had a 120 because Bitcoin doubled, and the loan grew to 23,000. Now we're gonna add a little kerosene to the fire. So here we go. we're going to up this from 120. We're going to borrow. Okay, we're going to borrow a little bit more from our credit line because our credit line is 60. Okay, we're going to grow that. We're going to grow that up a little bit, and then we're borrowing $20,000 in this process. So we borrowed $20,000. So we bump this up to 43. Okay, we borrow 43. I'll even call it 44 just to round it out. So we have a loan of 44. We have an asset because we bought it. Well, that's 43 just to make it simple. So 43. That's not a great marker, but we're going to finish. We're going to finish. So we are borrowing again from the credit line. We borrowed 20,000 because we had 60,000 over 23,000. We had 37 extra. So we take 20. We now have more of loan, same as we did before. We have more loan, which buys us the Bitcoin, which raises our credit line. So our credit line now is 70. Again, very important to understand. I'm slashing them both because I like European numbers. Otherwise, I can't tell a 7 from a 2. Excuse me. So we went from 120,000 in assets and 60K of credit line with a 23K loan. We upped it to 140K of assets because we took an extra 20K of loan. Loan went up, but so did our credit line. Our loan to value is getting better because now our loan to value is now 31. That's a little smaller, but that's almost intentional. All right, because 43 over 140 happens to be 31. We started at 33. Now we're going to go again, and I'm talking too fast. Let me put the eraser down, try and slow down, and we're going to go year 2, and we're going to borrow an extra 45,000. Okay, all this 43,000 adds up more interest, and we borrow 45,000. So that will raise. Oh, okay. All right. Forgot one step. 140 doubles to 180. So now this number is not 240 anymore. That's 280. That's important. Okay. That's a 2. I said 2s. So I went from 240 to 280 because I was able to increase this to 140. That gets the double throughout. That's going to help us. Compound interest. So now we're at 280. I decide to borrow for an extra 45. So this 43 plus 45 plus interest, even rounding up, 96,000. Okay, feel free to check me on these numbers. So 96 is my new loan. That sounds like a lot. But now look how much I have 280,000 of assets, and I borrowed more, so I can add to my. I borrowed 45, so now I'm adding 300. This 280 now goes up to 325. That's important to know. 3, 2. Good Lord, this is like the 3 hardest numbers to write sideways. Why can't it be 1s or 0s? Okay, I'll write in binary next time. So here we go. We went because we took out this loan of $20,000 extra a prior year before Bitcoin doubled. We compounded that 20 to make it an extra 40, which allowed us to borrow even more, which adds even more. So this number, instead of going up to 240 in year 2, is now 325. Okay? That's 2/3 of the next year number. So this is going to get pretty good. Now, we're also going to do, what's our credit line? Well, credit line is half of this. So now our credit line is 1, 6, 2.5. Kind of like baseball. Number of games in baseball. I used to follow baseball a lot. Okay, now my loan to value is 96 over 325. That loan now is 29.5%. I'll call it 30 because I can write to 0. 29.5. Okay, loan to value is going down. Okay, this is loan to value. Loan to value. Okay, I'm sorry, it's a little. Yeah, it's legible. Just checking. Okay, all right. We're still having more fun. We're growing numbers. Like when numbers get bigger, that's always fun. So, 325. That gets the double. Now this doubles down to here. 480 becomes 650. Yeah, that's right. 650. Whew, big number. So 650. I'm going to borrow another 90,000 from it. So now I'm going to borrow 90,000 from it. Don't you love this game? All right, you borrow 90,000 from it. So I know it brings me joy. So I borrowed 90,000 of it, and I put that back in here. So now I have 740,000. 740,000 worth of Bitcoin. Okay? I was originally at 480. I've gone up more than 50%. Okay? I love compounding interest. So now I added 90. So what's my loan? I got 90, got some 96 from the prior year, and then I add some interest, 201. Okay, just between friends, that looks like a good number. 90 and 96 is 186, and then the interest on that is about 15. That looks right. So now, I got 740 here, right? I'm going to have to squeeze loan to value up there to hang with me. What's my credit line? My credit line is half of this number. $370,000 is my credit line. That's pretty big. We like it. This is good. Paying off our loan. Even though we have a $200,000 loan, we have a credit line that's even bigger than that by almost double. That's good. That's a good thing. What's our loan to value? Our loan to value has gone down to just over 27%. And I know you're worried, like, well, what happens if Bitcoin dips? We went over that. We went over that before. That's also what Bitcoin 2 is for. Okay? We got some backup here. We have more cushion here because loan to value is going down. We're not pushing it like we pushed it to 33, which seems like a push, but it gets a little close when Bitcoin dumps. If Bitcoin dumps half of it, it's like a little close. So that's what this is for. But we got buffer here. Okay? We're taking one Bitcoin. We're taking the loan to value down by borrowing each year, every time Bitcoin doubles. I know I just wrote them in years, but basically think of this as first Bitcoin double, second Bitcoin double, third Bitcoin double, fourth Bitcoin double. What if that happens in less than 4 years? What if? Okay, last one. I'm having too much fun. I need to calm down. So, all right, it's been one of those punchy days. So I got 740 here. All right, I have 740. I have 201. So if the 740 doubles down here to 1480, I'm gonna write it. I got room. Good. 1480. Okay, that's my new number. All right, that's a pretty cool number. I like it. 1480. So 1480. I'm gonna borrow 180,000 from it. All right, so I'm gonna borrow 180,000 from it, and I'm gonna add to it. So I'm gonna add 180 over here plus some interest. So my loan's gonna wind up being 400 between friends, 412. Say, Jeff, that's an incredibly large loan. That's like a house. I'm like, well, yeah. Well, look at the price of Bitcoin. One Bitcoin. Well, we have extra Bitcoin now, but the price of Bitcoin has doubled at least 3 times. So now your Bitcoin, we started at 40K, went to 86, 160, 320, and you have 2 of them. So you look at you're okay. You're doing fine. So you got room. So I borrow 180, add it to the 412. Now, so adding the 180 here that I borrowed, add to this number, that now becomes 1660,000. Wow, 1660,000. That'd be $1.6 million, folks. $1.6 million that you have in Bitcoin in 4 doubles, starting with, call it 2. Okay, you got 2 Bitcoin. Now you have 1.6 million in 4 doubles. Originally, you didn't even have 1. Now you're at 1.6. Now, yes, your loan is bigger, but your credit line is also swollen to 830K. That's your credit line. Okay. Now your loan to value just a shade under 25. So I'll call it 25 between friends. My loan to value is going down every single year, even though I've gone. You think I'm going aggressive, but I'm not. I'm actually lowering my aggression because my loan to value is going down. Lastly, I'm out of room to do this. I'm going to go back to the blue so I can squeeze it in. All right, blue marker. Ah, there it is. Okay, so blue marker's back. He's going to come in and he's going to say, you know what? This is all great, but when do I get paid? I'm going to get paid right now, and I'm going to take out another extra. I'm going to take out another 100,000. That's crazy, but yes, I'm going to. This is now 512. Okay, and I'm going to put that in my pocket. Not a taxable event. I'm not a tax advisor. I'm not a financial advisor, not financial advice. But I do know from everything I've learned is that borrowing is not a taxable event. So I borrow $100,000 and I put it in my pocket. And I just got paid $100,000. But what happens to the rest? Well, you don't have any more Bitcoin, so this number doesn't change. But what happens is that your credit line has paid off, has now more loan to pay. So your loan to value just changed. Your loan to value, 33. You're back where you started, and you have $100,000 in your pocket. You like that? I don't think I need to say anymore. Talk to you soon.